I'm Freddie from Shred Athletics. I'm here down in Battersea Park and we're testing 3 different super shoes that I own. The ASICS MetaSpeed Skies, the Hoka Cielo, the 2nd edition that just came out, and then the Adidas Adios Pro 4, the ones that I raced in my last marathon. We'll be going through a different series of testing on comfort, durability, raw speed, and then also which looks the best. Then in future videos, we'll test more super shoes and find the true GOAT super shoe that I'll be racing in Berlin later this year. Comment below what your current favorite shoe is and I'll try it in future videos. Okay, now I'm going to try on each of the pairs, the first one being the ASICS MetaSpeed Skies. I actually got my 5K personal best in these. I've obviously worn each of the shoes, but I'm genuinely interested to see which one comes out on top. Of course, I've worn them before, but I know that these are the lightest shoe out of them all. They're incredibly comfortable, so let's whack them on. The lightest, I'm pretty sure. They feel the lightest anyway. I think these look the best as well, and also seem to be one of the most durable. I've had probably similar mileage in all of them, so it's a fairly fair test as it can be. And then in the actual mile sprint, I'm going to try and do an equal effort in all of them. So try and go at a similar effort level out of 10, similar heart rate, and then we can see which one's the fastest. I haven't actually worn these in a while and I forgot how comfortable, light, fast these guys are. Highly recommend. I think the newer models, the MetaSpeed Sky Paris, are going to be very similar, and there's a lot of elite athletes on the world stage that run in these type of shoes. A big thing to test is changing direction. When you're on those complex courses, when you're going back on yourself, I want to see which one's the best in terms of traction, so moving back and forth. I'm going to sprint down there, change back and come towards this direction to see which one comes out on top. Let's go. Okay, initial impressions, these are incredibly fast, lightweight, being only 200 grams. I definitely think for this shoe, more of a 5K to half marathon. I wouldn't race a full marathon in these. Reason being, at the slower paces, they feel like they don't really give you much propulsion. The moment I'm doing these fast strides, they really kick in. You can feel the plate, you're really up on your toes, and changing direction is super easy, but the acceleration is hard on the slower paces. Then once you reach top speed, it is perfect. Overall rating on these is 8.5 out of 10. Right, as you can tell, these are pretty beaten up. I would actually say out of the box, this is the best looking shoe. I wore this back in December for Valencia Marathon. Got a PB in it, but is it quick at the faster paces? How will it fare in the mile test? Before we do so, I'm gonna check how it is at changing direction doing the fast sprint test. Last year, my favorite shoe of all time was the predecessor of this one, the Adios Pro 3. And I've already noticed the changes in terms of it being lighter. They've changed the rocker geometry so you're getting your toes faster. Overall, I'm a big fan. These, I forgot as well, that this blood coming through the shoe is from Valencia Marathon because they're too small. If you are gonna get the shoe, go half a size, if not a full size up. They are very tight compared to the Pro 3. Yeah, like I genuinely think I'm gonna struggle to get these on. I've forgotten how tight these are, which is why I stopped wearing these. Literally bled through the shoe during Valencia, insert picture right now. But if you do get the right size, these are amazingly comfortable. They're like running on clouds. Even though I said MetaSpeed Sky was comfortable, I think it's probably the worst out of the 3 in terms of comfort, but it does really kick in, as I said, at those fast speeds. My 5K PB is in the MetaSpeed Skies. I genuinely forgot how nice these are. Wow. Let's get into the sprint test. The Lightstrike Pro in Adidas is phenomenal, and for racing, this is probably the best. Definitely half or full size up because they do run small, but genuinely, it feels like you're running on clouds. So comfortable. It's got that responsiveness, that snappiness you need, and especially the later stages of the marathon when your legs are super fatigued, that's when you need that responsive foam and carbon rods to kick in. Overall rating for me, 9.2. These are the Hoka Cielo's 2nd edition which is what I got my 10K PB in, so it'll be interesting to see how these fare in the sprint test. I genuinely probably use these the most out of all three currently in my training rotation. Reason being is one, the durability. I've already worn these a fair amount and they don't look like they're worn in at all. And the second thing is the fatigue in the legs. Every time I wear these after a session, my legs are completely recovered the next day, whereas the previous ASICS MetaSpeed Skies seem to flare up my Achilles a little bit, so I've stopped wearing them. However, they are fast. Initial impressions are, of course, incredibly comfy, incredibly bouncy, and they seem bulkier, even though they are still a light shoe. They just feel like they suit someone who's a slightly bigger runner, who's really gonna force their weight into the ground and push forwards. But overall, incredibly bouncy, big fan. Despite wearing these ones probably the most frequently, I genuinely forgot how good they were and how comfortable they are. I didn't actually wear the previous versions of these Hoka shoes, but they significantly dropped the weight. They've also got this foam midsole that is unbelievable for propulsion. Comfort, this hands down wins over the MetaSpeed Skies. I initially thought they were light and comfy, but the moment you start running, I get this aggressive pain in my Achilles. Whereas these, the recovery is much faster after workout. In terms of raw speed as well, if you're a forefoot or midfoot striker, these will massively help. Anything from a 5K to a half marathon, this is my shoe. Overall rating, 9 out of 10. As you can tell, I'm incredibly excited by this shoe. I do absolutely love it. I train in it week in, week out. But how will it fare against the other two in the mile test? We are starting with the Hoka Cielo X1 2.0. The excitement around this shoe is evident from the amount I've been wearing it recently in training, specifically at the track for quick speed days. The durability is unmatched and it has exactly what I need. I consistently hit my target paces in training, and the next day my legs feel completely fine. I knew I was going to love this shoe. It's interesting doing an all-out mile run with long rests in between each, allowing for a like-for-like comparison. During this, I realized the density of the foam on this shoe, and you feel very upright and higher. In contrast, many super shoes are hard, and you can feel the plate hitting against the ground. This one has the perfect balance of stiffness and cushion to propel you as fast as possible. Now onto the ASICS MetaSpeed Skies, which are the opposite. During this mile test, I noticed how close you feel to the ground. At slower paces, they feel very flat and only seem to kick in when running at a lot faster pace. I can imagine these are perfect for elites, but I've actually had to stop wearing them. The worst part, the next day after a hard session, my Achilles is shot. Lastly, the Adidas Adios Pro 4s. These are an amazing racing shoe. Fresh out the box, these are rapid, but they do seem to wear out very quickly, which I was sad about. I probably only ran about 250 kilometers in these, and they already feel kind of done. Another issue is that they run extremely small. But let's see the mile time results for each shoe. The mile winner completely shocked me. I did not expect that. But my overall closing thoughts are, this is my favorite training shoe. The recovery is hands down the best. No problems with injuries. And I think if you're gonna get the best results in your running, you need to avoid any injuries. But if I was gonna race, it would be the Adidas shoes. I think overall, they don't last as long, they're not as durable, but they are the fastest, fresh out the box. Make sure to click subscribe and comment below your favorite shoe and which one I should do next.